we're saddened, everyone is very saddened to hear the news of Ozzy Osbourne's death. Sharon is a friend of the show. She and Ozzy joined us by video link 4 years ago from their bed, ever an example of their family's uniqueness. But one loose woman knew him best, and that is Jane, and she joins us now. Hi there, Jane.
Hi, everyone. How are you?
Yeah, we're good, thanks. Jane, you were a very close friend of the family and have been for a long time, so this must have come as a real shock to you as well, yeah?
Yeah, it was an incredible shock. I'm on holiday out in France, and I first got a call sort of like mid-afternoon, and I thought, to be honest, I didn't believe it. Ozzy's been sort of subjected to many online hoaxes about his death over the years, and so I just thought it was another one, because I only saw him just over 2 weeks ago when he did his farewell concert with Black Sabbath in Villa Park in Birmingham, which is literally just, a couple of minutes from his house where he grew up in Aston. That's my footage of him coming off stage after his solo set, because as everybody knows, Ozzy, because of Parkinson's, was in a wheelchair, so they had to work out how to get him on stage, and he was on stage in a throne. So quite an achievement. He sang a lot of solo songs. I think it was about 4 solo songs, and then 4 with Black Sabbath, sitting down, which is quite hard. Yeah. But the concert was a huge success. Sharon took me to see him in his dressing room just before he went on stage. And he was in a really, he was nervous because it's his hometown and his home crowd. But he was also really excited about doing it. And it was an unqualified success. And like, he's known as the godfather of heavy metal, or Black Sabbath is, they kind of started that sort of music and inspired so many bands. So a lot of big stars like Guns N' Roses, Metallica, Youngblood, they all turned up to perform in honor of Ozzy. And afterwards, it was quite a sight to see. They were all queuing outside his dressing room, waiting to go in and see him and celebrate with him. So, he was a legend.
And I believe, Jane, you were saying that the reception that he got from his home crowd was just amazing.
It was incredible, yeah. I mean, afterwards, I stayed for a bit after the concert, but then when I left, there were loads of crowds still hanging around, and they were sort of like, biker, big, tough-looking biker guys, heavy metal fans, just crying with joy at having seen their idol. Yeah. And yeah, it's just incredibly sad because, he looked, although he was physically quite weak in terms of mobility, mentally he was all still there, and the humor that we've always known that was his sort of signature characteristic was very much still there. And I think I've spoken on the show about it before. Years ago, I ghost wrote Sharon's 3rd memoir, and she said, look, come and live with us in LA, because it was a really big quick turnaround. So she said, just come and hang out with us, and So I had this sort of plan that I would wake up very early in the morning, about 7 a.m., get yesterday's notes written up while the house was quiet before the next day started. But Ozzy always used to get up early as well, and he would sit talking to me. And because I trained as a journalist in Birmingham, I'm quite used to the Birmingham accent, so I could understand him. It was still quite strong, and a lot of people in LA just didn't understand a word he was saying. So he was quite pleased that there was somebody there that he could chat away with, and he had so many funny stories, and they had a tempestuous marriage over the years. I did a tour with Sharon last year. She did like a talk show on stage where I was the person interviewing her, and I asked her some incredibly honest questions. I mean, she's probably the most honest person I've ever interviewed in my life. And she just sort of told these stories very matter-of-factly, but freely admitted they were codependent. She said, I can't live without him and he can't live without me. And he used to say that to me all the time. He used to say, without Sharon, I would be dead. And that's absolutely true, you know, because she saved him from himself so many times over the years. And, you know, a lot of people would look at it and go, oh, well, you know, it's a bit rock and roll and it's, you know, dysfunctional family. But they're not really, you know, at the heart of it, there's this incredible love and loyalty for each other. And at that concert just over 2 weeks ago, all the kids were there. Amy, Jack, Kelly, with their kids, with their partners, the grandchildren were there. Ozzy's children from his first marriage, all the staff that have worked for them for decades, which always says something about somebody, doesn't it, when you keep the same staff. And it was a real family affair. And so I kind of take some comfort from the fact that he was able to do that and be there with all of them and for them to see him perform.
Jane, just a final thing, Jane, just because of time, and I think it's something we all want to mention, that gig, his final gig, was actually a fundraising gig.
Yes, yeah, all the money went to 3 charities that they chose. A couple of them were local Birmingham charities. I think one was for Parkinson. So, yeah, no, the whole thing, all the bands did it for nothing. Ozzy obviously did it for nothing. So did Black Sabbath. And, yeah, so it raised a lot of money for charities.
Well, we've got it in front of us, £140 million. It's phenomenal. Jane, listen, thank you so much for breaking into your holiday and speaking to us today.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you. Safe home, safe home. Yeah, £140 million. Wow, that's an incredible legacy, you know, beyond all of
I mean, what a legacy to leave behind you, isn't it? You know, what a statement to make at your end of life, to be able to make that massive contribution to charities that you believe in.
And when I heard that he passed away, I was so happy that he'd got to do that concert. I was so happy that he'd made it and he'd done it, because he lived for that, didn't he?
He did.
And to have that moment again with everyone there that he loves, what a way.
Yeah, what a way.
And hopefully that will bring his family comfort in times to come, and all of our love to them, of course.
Exactly.